The peaceful surrender of the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk is a story filled with unexpected humanity and calm amid chaos. Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby recalls how, on the evening of September 11th, just as he was winding down for the night, his phone rang with news that stunned him. A retired deputy friend called, and hearing his unsteady voice, Brooksby immediately feared something tragic had happened. But what followed was even more surprising. The deputy revealed, "I know who shot Charlie Kirk. I also know the family through a religious connection. He's currently in Washington County, and we are working to get him to turn himself in willingly." This revelation marked a turning point in the investigation. On Wednesday, Sheriff Brooksby spoke publicly for the first time about his department's role in the arrest of 22-year-old Tyler James Robinson. Robinson was formally charged with aggravated murder in Utah's 4th District Court on Tuesday. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray also announced plans to pursue the death penalty if Robinson is convicted. The accused is alleged to have fatally shot Kirk in front of about 3,000 spectators at Utah Valley University, a chilling event that shook the community. After authorities released a surveillance photo of the suspect, Robinson's own parents became worried that their son might be the shooter, according to court documents. Robinson had been living in St. Louis, Georgia in an apartment while his parents resided in Washington City. Brooksby explained that the suspect's parents played a critical role in preventing a tragic outcome. They managed to persuade Tyler not to retreat to a remote Washington County location where he might have taken his own life. Instead, they promised to support his peaceful surrender to law enforcement. Tyler understood that being caught was unavoidable, Sheriff Brooksby explained. His face and the gun had been all over the news, and he was genuinely scared, afraid a SWAT team might barge into his home or that he might be shot by police. This fear shaped how law enforcement approached his arrest. To ease this tension, Brooksby agreed to a low-key, gentle arrest procedure designed to make Robinson feel safe and comfortable enough to surrender on his own terms. By 9 p.m., Robinson, accompanied by his parents and the retired deputy, arrived at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. Deputies there were dressed in plain clothes, not uniforms, to avoid intimidation. Remarkably, Robinson was not handcuffed, but ushered quietly to an interview room, where he was given water and allowed to rest on a couch for several hours, while state and federal agents prepared to take over. Sheriff Brooksby described the arrangement as almost inviting, an unusual but carefully negotiated scenario. "We set certain conditions for his surrender, and I was willing to make concessions to ensure it happened peacefully," he said. When Robinson arrived, he appeared solemn, silent, and cooperative. Because the main investigation was handled by higher authorities, Brooksby's detectives did not question him. "Although he is accused of a terrible crime, we treated him humanely and respectfully," Brooksby noted. "That's part of our job, something we do regularly despite the gravity of the allegations." Before the call from the retired deputy, Brooksby and his office had no idea that the search for Kirk's killer would end in their jurisdiction. When they learned the suspect was actually a local young man, a homegrown Washington County boy, they were shocked. Adding to the surprise, Robinson attended the very same high school as Brooksby, just 3 decades earlier. Brooksby also praised the retired deputy, who had developed strong community ties, enabling Robinson's family to trust him enough to ask for help in negotiating this surrender. However, the sheriff also highlighted a troubling consequence of the case. Other individuals named Robinson, with no connection to the suspect or his family, began receiving harassing phone calls. Because of this, Robinson's parents and even his roommate might have to keep a low profile for a significant time. This story raises intriguing questions. How might law enforcement balance firm justice with compassionate handling of suspects? Could such peaceful surrenders become a model for future cases involving fearful or distressed suspects? And what responsibility does the community have to avoid stigmatizing individuals simply due to shared names or associations? What do you think about this approach to arrests? Should law enforcement always aim for peaceful, negotiated surrenders? Or are there situations where a more forceful approach is warranted? Share your thoughts and join the conversation.